The U.S. attorney tasked with investigating the origins of the Russia probe is, quote, asking all the right questions, sources tell Fox tonight. Separately, sources tell us that John Durham has met with Attorney General William Barr on multiple occasions in recent weeks and is digging into the FBI's use of FISA warrants to spy on a member of the Trump campaign during the height of the 2016 election. Joining me now is former Trump 2016 campaign manager Corey Lewandowski. Corey, good to see you. Question, are we going to get to the bottom, or are we going to get to the top of this, I should say, because some suggest it could go all the way to the top of the previous administration?
I think we're going to get to the top of this, and what we know is that President Trump has given Attorney General Barr the discretion to declassify any documents that he wants, and we believe, and I think you believe, that the American people have a right to see why this FISA application was filed, the predicate for that FISA application. We know that Jim Comey swore to it under oath, that it was verified. Right. We know that the false, salacious dossier that was paid for by the Clinton campaign through the Perkins Coie law firm was part of the reason they got that FISA application. And what our viewers have to understand was the first time the Department of Justice went to the FISA court to get the application, they were denied, which only takes place in about 2% of the applications. They were denied because they were being overly political, and the judge refused to grant them that application. Now, with U.S. Attorney Durham on the case, I believe we're going to see a criminal referral coming from Inspector General Horowitz. That criminal referral is going to go right to the top of the FBI, to senior members of the Department of Justice, and may lead right back to the previous White House. Well,
and there's a group that I would focus in on. I mean, what I love about Attorney General Barr is he uses the word spying unabashedly. It was spying. There was spying going on. The president said it a year and a half ago, and now Barr is confirming it. Who was the head of the spying institution in the United States? John Brennan, the head of the CIA. As far as I'm concerned, more of a political hack than he is a retired intelligence official. Most retired intelligence officials keep their mouths shut because they're in the business of secrets. He's done anything but that. Do you think he is involved somehow? Clearly, he was pushing a lot of this stuff with regard to the Trump dossier, et cetera.
Well, there's no question he has a role in it, but Brennan, Comey, and Clapper, kind of the three horsemen of the intelligence community under the Obama administration, all knew that this dossier was false. They all wanted to spy on Donald Trump. They have such visceral hatred for Donald Trump that they abuse their positions in the government, and they authorized, through the FISA application process and what we now know to be falsehoods, the spying on American citizens on domestic soil, a clear violation of the Fourth Amendment, I'll add. And I'll tell you this, they were so unequivocal that there was collusion between the Trump campaign and the Russians that when the Mueller report came out, all they said was, well, I guess we got some bad information. These were the three heads of the intelligence communities in our government, and they had the whole thing wrong. I think there's accountability, but it goes much higher than Brennan or Comey or Clapper. This goes into the White House, and I don't know if it goes to the Deputy National Security Advisor, Ben Rhodes, if it goes to Susan Rice, or it goes even higher. But clearly, with those three individuals involved, the orders came from the very top to spy on a presidential candidate because they didn't like his politics.
Well, one of the things we learned about the Obama administration through various incidences is that they were always trading information with the people at the top. The people from the FBI were, the people from the CIA and the National Intelligence Agency. So they were sharing information. Why should they not share information about what they thought was a plot or what they were using to try to prevent Donald Trump from entering the White House?
David, my sources tell me very clearly that there's an email chain out there that the senior-most members of our government under the previous administration were all on, and one name and one name alone has been redacted from that email. I believe it's Barack Obama, who is clearly read in on what was taking place. I believe he was completely read in on what transpired as it related to spying on the Trump campaign and the dossiers and the FISA applications that were asked for by the courts. And look, there's been no question of him. And if there were failures in the 2016 to stop the Russians or anybody else from interfering in the election, that falls under Barack Obama and his intelligence community, not on Donald Trump, who is a candidate for office. There's been not one person held accountable from that community. Not one person has gone to jail. We have one criminal referral against Andy McCabe, and I think Horowitz is going to have many, many more to come. And U.S. Attorney Durham is going to hold him accountable.
We have a lot of investigations ongoing right now to try to get to the bottom of this.